think it's 465. Maybe it's 466. Fuck it, I don't know. Of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian. And this is the only podcast that says...
He's a font of misplaced rage. Name your cliche. Mother held him too much, not enough. Last pick the kickball. Late night sneaky uncle. Whatever. He's so angry, moments of levity actually cause him pain. Give him headaches. Happiness, for that gentleman, hurts.
Nice.
Yeah. A little Garland Green from Con Air.
Did you say Con Air?
Con Air, yeah.
Interesting story.
Okay. Wow.
It's so weird you picked that quote.
Okay.
It's the weirdest thing you ever picked that quote. And why I'm saying this is because the girls, and you're gonna say what when I tell you this.
If you're gonna tell me they haven't watched Con Air until like this week.
No, they couldn't. They don't remember watching Con Air.
Wow.
And that is like
shocking.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
But this was said like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And so they watched it last night.
Yeah.
And but I know I played that movie.
Yeah, you had to have.
I had to have.
Yeah.
Me and you probably played that movie with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Probably the same night we watched Brotherhood of the Wolf.
yeah. But I just found that so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, you picked that quote.
That's funny.
That's strange.
That's serendipity right there.
Yeah.
So how are you, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
I am not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has been a day. Nancy got that cleaning bug up her ass today.
Oh shit.
And you know, I'm like, come on. Hell, got me down on my hands and knees, scrubbing. This isn't for me.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no. I had to, I mean, I helped her out, like, with the kitchen, like, sweeping and mopping the kitchen. And then, I swept and mopped the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Cause, like, bathroom floor is, like, it's like one of those things, like odd hair just collects in, like, corners and stuff.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta get down there with the Swiffer. And,
I can't.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm up there like a,
Yeah.
you know.
All right. That's I'll clean anything you throw at me, but I can't do a bathroom.
Yeah, between that and the drain. Every once in a while, I got to get in there, and you know, you're just like,
Pull that east. Yeah.
I'm like,
you're making me sick.
Oh yeah, like I'm just like,
Yeah.
Not good. You know. So
Science fiction movies were made from shit that comes out of those drains.
yeah. You know, and I'm just like, you know, this isn't me. You know, this is not long enough to be me. You know who I'm talking about. And she's like, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so. That was, I mean, so she gets this bug up her ass, so, you know, and then we went and saw Morbius.
Yeah.
My official review of Morbius. It's not bad, but it's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best I can give.
Yeah.
Like, the story makes sense to me. I was able, but there are parts of the story, like how they get through the story, I'm like,
Yeah.
You know, there are certain aspects of it that, like, I'm like, okay, this is a leap. There's a little bit of a leap here. You know.
That's when the guy comes in from Lethal Weapon and goes, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah. But the thing that drove me nuts was the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Can I spoil this for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the post-credit scene, you know, it opens like we're looking at New York City, and the sky opens up like we saw in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah.
And Adrian Toomes appears in a jail cell.
Okay.
In the Venom timeline. Now, throughout this movie, there's no mention of Spider-Man. The scene where we saw the Spider-Man poster in the alley, that was for the trailer only.
Really?
There's nothing about Spider-Man whatsoever. Huh. They do mention Venom a couple of times. But overall, there's no link to the MCU whatsoever like everybody thought until this post-credit scene.
Okay.
Where Adrian Toomes shows up in a jail cell.
Okay.
Now, because nobody knows who the fuck he is or how he got there, they let him go. Okay. Which, I mean, overall, but then there's a second post-credit scene where Morbius is driving in the desert. He pulls off the road. He stops at a certain spot and he waits, and you see something coming from the distance. Well, it's Vulture. He's in the full Vulture suit. Now, how the
really?
Yeah. Now, how the full Vulture suit gets in this universe, I don't know, because that was alien tech. Okay. But he's in the full Vulture suit, and he goes to Morbius. Thanks for meeting me out here. And he's like, yeah, what do you got? And he's like, I think guys like you and I.
Is this Keaton, right?
Yeah, this is Keaton, yeah. But he's like, guys like you and I, we should team up.
Yeah.
And Michael's like, I think that's a good idea. Which is like, it's like a setup for the Sinister Six, which is fine and dandy, but it's like, based upon the logic of the spell from Doctor Strange, there is no reason for Adrian Toomes to be in this universe.
Well, this all has to... Well, maybe that has to deal with the multiverse of madness going on with Strange, maybe.
Maybe, but I mean, like, they basically made it look like Toomes is in this universe for good.
Okay.
Like, they moved him from the MCU to the Sony Spider-Man universe. Only for the sole purpose of creating the Sinister Six movie that they want to do.
Okay.
Like, Michael Keaton's the linchpin to all this. And it's like, that makes no fucking sense.
I agree. But
it's Sony, and they want so desperately to do this shit on their own.
Right.
I'm like, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like, everything else about the movie I was okay with. Like, I think my biggest complaint about the aside from that is Sony has to figure out how to do fucking fight scenes.
Yeah.
Because, again, this fight scene was very hard. The big climactic fight scene at the end was very hard to keep track of.
Really?
Yeah. Like, much like Venom. Like, in that Venom movie, like, I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on at that. I was just like, let's see who wins at the end.
Yeah.
Because I have no clue what's going on here. This is just Black Blob against Black Blob. In this, they're going at each other, and they both have, like, these, like, trails of, like, vapor behind them, or so, and it's like, it just creates this, and it's so slash cut so fucking hard that you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, that was my two biggest, like, my third is probably, they ripped off The Dark Knight quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's this scene where Jared Leto's like, the bats they view me as a kindred spirit, as a brother. And he has this chamber where he keeps these vampire bats.
Yeah.
And he walks into it, and the bats, like, start circling around him, like in, like, Batman Begins, or like where the bats are circling around Batman.
Yeah.
And, like, even the music, I was like, well, that just sounds like fucking Batman's theme from the Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple of moments like that with, like, bats and shit where, like, they're, like, around him and they're swarming around him and stuff, and he's, like, standing there like a god, like a bat god or something. I'm like, you're just ripping off fucking Nolan.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, those are minor complaints. I mean, was I entertained at the end? Yeah. I mean, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. It felt longer than that. But
how was Leto?
He was fine. I mean, him and Matt Smith. I mean, how can you go? You have Matt Smith, Jared Leto, and Jared Harris in the movie.
Okay.
And I love Jared Harris. I think he's an underappreciated actor. And, you know, we all love Matt Smith from his doctor. We know he can act his ass off. I mean, the acting was fine. Like, I didn't have a problem with their acting whatsoever.
Okay.
Like, and again, like even the story that they told made sense as a story. The beginning, the middle, the end of the story made sense. It's just some of the leaps that they took in that story. I was like, you know what I mean? Like there was just some things that was like at one point, like he's like, well, I need to go underground because the police are looking for me, and he creates this lab like in this abandoned mall, and like the very next scene, he's like back in his lab. What the what?
Yeah.
Like why? Why would you fucking do that? You know.
Yeah.
So it's shit like that. There was little shit that I was like logically this makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know, you gave me this whole big like montage of him like assembling machines and stuff to do experiments with, and then the next scene he's back in his fucking lab where he has all of his equipment anyway. Like, what was the point of this?
Weird.
Yeah.
It's the secret lab.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I'm not going to tell you to go see it in a theater. You know, this is definitely maybe rent it from Redbox or wait till it's like on Stars. If you have Stars, you know, maybe get it on the pay-per-view, like, you know, drop the $4, you know. But I'm not telling you to go out to a theater and see it. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that is my review. It's my spoilerish review of Morbius. I did not watch Batman today because Nancy had the cleaning bug up her ass. So I'll be watching that tomorrow for discussion next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't watch anything really. I watched Halo.
Yeah.
Digging that. And what else? And I watched hockey game.
Ah, you have to watch a hockey game.
Yeah, in the hotel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been exciting.
I'm getting to watch a lot of hockey games.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for because the Penguins are on nationally, so like TBS and
Well,
ESPN.
it's not just yes.
Yeah.
But also too at the hotels I'm staying at, I get AT&T.
Oh, okay.
So I get
So
any.
you get the Pittsburgh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm getting to watch any hockey game on if
Yeah.
they're playing. And I get done at 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I watched the Bruins game. Yeah, impressive. Getzo has really impressed me. Like, he always impresses me, but the guy has, I think, 40 goals this year.
Yeah. Jake Getzel's
He's
been that.
a freaking animal.
If he was on any other team, he would be a superstar.
Yeah.
But because he's on the Penguins with Crosby and Malkin, he's kind of overlooked. And he's like from his rookie year.
Yeah.
That year he came in as a rookie with the and had that playoff run. I was like, this kid's the next guy.
Yeah.
Like, they need to lock him up for a long time.
I think they will. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to let go of Jake.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can. I think he's going to, because he's considerably younger than Crosby is.
Oh yeah.
And so I think he's going to be that torch going forward, unless they get some kind of super rookie.
Yeah.
But I think, this kid can score.
Yeah.
And he's already doubled the output Malkin has. He's scored, I think he's scored more goals than Crosby has.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have the assists like Crosby and Letang have. But Letang's having a great year, too.
Yeah.
But that team as a whole looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, like that fall that they had, losing 9 out of 12, I was shocked by.
Yeah.
Because they're a much better team than that. And it went from being first in the division to being third, and trying to play for a wild card almost. I'm like this team's better than this.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you feel like maybe it's to their benefit. Like, you get a lower seed, you play somebody better, they take you lightly. You know,
I like Rucker too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get the Rangers, right?
I mean, they're talking about maybe if they fall out of the third place in the division, then they end up playing Florida, which is like, I guess, the best team in the conference or something.
Yeah,
I have to look it up, but
we'll see.
Yeah, it's like
we just blew out Detroit.
Yeah, and I mean, in this, Casey Smith had that 52 goal or 50 save shutout.
That was with the Bruins.
The Bruins, yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think final score of the Detroit game was 7-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing well.
By the way, just so you know, the Pirates lost by 3 touchdowns today.
Oh my god.
21-0.
That's fucking crazy.
It is. On the other side of the map, but
yeah. But I've gotten to watch some hockey.
I know that's gotta make you happy.
Yeah, it does, because I love hockey.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've been watching some hockey and getting back into it. And the team looks good right now. I mean, they're fast. I'm hoping that they continue this into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're quick. They're sharp. But Getzel, man, his goals, man. I mean, the third one was an empty netter. But those first two were right, dude.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. This kid can score. Of course, it helps that he's being fed by Crosby, too.
Oh, I mean,
Crosby must be one of the best assist people I've ever seen in my life.
It does help, but he is a natural goal scorer. You've seen that since day one with him.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things where, it helps having a guy like Crosby who can feed him, but you have to have the ability to put that puck home, and he has that ability.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been other guys that Crosby's fed that they can't, they just can't handle it.
He's just so tiny.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's his only draw.
Yeah.
But drawback is he's so small.
Yeah.
But that kid can score.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just brutal. And
fast as fucking lightning,
he reminds me of Bob Airy, but better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I've seen Bob Airy could he was a goal scorer too.
Yeah.
That guy can score. I'll never forget that one knee Bob Airy shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. But and back then it was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure.
Some of you guys can do it now, but
yeah.
Like when Bob Airy did it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. There's some amazing stuff that I've seen that you know. And that was one of those times.
Yeah.
That was one of those games I watched that was like, that's a good goal. You know what I mean? And I've seen some great goals, but I mean that was a good one. The Lemieux behind the net one, is probably one of the best of all time.
Yeah,
that was fucking crazy.
That was.
But
and only you could do. I saw an interview with Gretzky where he said Mario was a better goal scorer.
Oh really?
You know, shadow of a doubt. If he hadn't gotten sick, if he didn't have the back problems, he'd probably be really fucking close, if not have taken some of my records.
Yeah. Lemieux could score.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he could pass, too.
It was a different game.
I mean, yeah, it was. But, I'll never forget, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals against Minnesota, and he passes that puck to Jimmy Pack.
Yeah,
for the goal.
Yeah.
Going down the ice, I've got enough of these here. You take us.
Yeah, take it on back.
Yeah.
It's funny. I went into the Heinz History Center.
Okay.
Did I tell you that?
No.
I didn't tell you any of that?
No.
Huh. Interesting. Because I went last week. I wonder if I went on Sunday. Anyway, went to the Heinz History Center.
Yeah.
Took the girls. I did. I went on Monday, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
So, first time I'd been there.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really cool fucking museum.
Yeah.
But they had a great Heinz thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. Heinz from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was cool. Appreciated that. Steel mill, all that kind of crap. But then they had a sports...
Yeah,
sports stuff.
Very, very, very extensive sports section,
and it was really good.
Yeah.
And it covered like everything. Like it was really good.
Like I know like people complimented for how they covered the Negro Leagues.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was great. That part was phenomenal, actually. And they had a lot of baseball stuff and stuff like that, and Steelers stuff. I wasn't too impressed with the Steelers stuff. I thought it could have been more, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought it could have been more than what it was.
Yeah.
But when I walked into the hockey, I was like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was blown away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just blown away. And they had one of the old turnstiles from fucking Civic Arena in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was badass. And they had like a bunch of sign sticks and pucks, and it was cool as heck. And they had like a recreation of the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was perfect. You know what I mean? And it was just phenomenal. But they had like a Lemieux picture, you know, like a poster or stand up, whatever. I had to give him a little pat. I even got a little teary eyed in there. That's how much I love hockey. You know this.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
And I know teary eyed sounds weird, but you know, it's my Penguins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And but it was cool, you know, and they had old TV footage of Lemieux scoring, you know, the ways, and then
the 5 different ways.
5 different ways, and then they had the horn, you know, you could hear it, you know what I mean? They had all the goalie masks from all the year. It was really good. Like, I probably spent more time in that hockey part than I did anything else. And they had, what was cool, I thought was really cool, is they had one of the hockey games, you know, the tournament games. Yeah. And it was Penguins Flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, this is cool as heck. You know? They had all the pucks. I mean, it was just, it felt like you were on the ice. I swear to God, the floor was white. Like it was ice, you know what I mean? And it was phenomenal. Tribute to Mike Lang. There was an Elvis poster. Civic Arena Elvis, you know. It was very, very well done.
For those who don't know, it's because, you know, after most Penguin wins, Mike Lang would say, and Elvis has just left the building.
Right.
Or if it was a parent, like, when you got, like, that empty netter to steal the game away, you know, he's like, and Elvis has just left the building.
Right.
You know.
And there was game stuff piping through the speak. It was really good. I really enjoyed the that part of it. Yeah. I liked the whole museum, but I really liked that Penguin stuff. I was like, man, this is cool as heck. So yeah, Penguin stuff was cool. Then we went through the Rogers neighborhood. I got terrified.
Lydia Lane was there?
Yeah. And there was like all these drawers you can open up, you know, and it had the sweaters in and shit, you know. But you couldn't see what was in the drawer. I was just waiting for that fucking doll to be in there. Yeah. But they had, you know, it was cool. I mean, you got to respect the man for who he was. Right. But yeah, they had all the sweaters and shoes, and it was like a life in the day of Rogers, you know, and had like his suit stuff and like the original sweaters, you know, had the rip in it, had a rip in it somewhere. I thought that was cool. And then it had some of the original puppets that he did before, you know, before King Friday and all that crap. Not crap. It's just, so yeah, I appreciated that. But like the whole exhibit, they hadn't even had an exhibit on the French and Indian War and stuff. And it was just like, wow, this is cool because you don't, like I said, you know, you never see about, you never really read about the French and Indian War.
More than any other war, like at least for West. I mean, I know Gettysburg rightfully gets its fair shake, but the French Indian War a lot of it took place here, in this area. You know, so like it's that odd thing of like. I think that's why I like that period, like especially like you know, we're not going to discuss the movie, but you know, but because it's like it was such a prominent thing in Pittsburgh. Yeah, like the Revolutionary War. I'm like there weren't really any battles fought here. There wasn't anything about the Revolutionary War that came through Pittsburgh, but the French Indian War, like the first really major war in the colonies, like the Pittsburgh area played a huge role in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. Enough so that I would go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually with the museum, I'm not really. Yeah, that's cool.
Do you think you missed something?
Yeah.
Like there's more you could take in?
Yeah, I would definitely go back.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. It's just so rich with Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Thus the Heinz History Center.
Right.
But I mean, it was just really just rich in the history of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I just really appreciated that. They had a glass exhibit, which makes sense because there was a ton of glass factories here.
Right, yeah. I mean, Glassport.
Right, and then we looked on a map and Glassport wasn't even mentioned. I'm like...
Yeah.
Not, it's just kind of like... I think you're missing something.
Yeah.
But it could have been part of Elizabethboro at the time.
Yeah.
And then we looked at a map later on, and then Glassport was mentioned later on in the map.
Yeah, so it was like Clareton, McKeesport.
Right, it was like, when we did show Glassport, I was like,
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do their history here. This is what the town's named after.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the glass factory that was once here.
Yeah.
So, it burned down, I think.
I think so, yeah.
But, yeah, so that was cool. So we did that. And then I went back to Ides.
Back to Ides.
Well...
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well. You're right there.
Yeah.
So we went to Ides. Or did I do Ides that day? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And sorry, I couldn't think because I was off last week. So we did a number of things. But so I went to Ides and I got that Bauhaus poster.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you about that.
Yeah, you told me about that poster. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the Bauhaus poster and, ate lunch down in the Strip. Yeah. So it was like a Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah.
Then I went to the home opener. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. I forgot what I did that week. Well, this was after the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I went to the home opener.
How was that for
I got free tickets.
Yeah.
Number one, so I didn't buy any of the tickets.
Right.
And the tickets I got was like in 322. I was like...
Up. Yeah.
The very furthest row back, I think. Which still were great seats. There's not a bad seat in that fucking building.
No, there's not.
Even when you're high up, you still have good seats.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see everything. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a little far away, but it's not that bad.
It depends on what you're looking for from your game day experience, in my opinion. I like sitting down lower, particularly for baseball games, and as close to home plate as possible, because I like to watch the pitches and how they drop and how they move. That's the kind of stuff I like to watch. I mean, I either got to be in front of the pitcher or behind the pitcher.
Okay.
Like those, because I want to see how the ball is moving as the pitcher throws it. When you're on the sides, it's a little harder to really tell.
Yeah.
People get upset like, oh, the ball. Like, how the fuck can you tell? You're sitting over here. Even if you're sitting down low, it's still tough to tell if that was on the inside or the outside of the plate.
Yeah.
So that's something I do like. Nancy prefers to sit up high because she wants to see the whole field.
Yeah.
That's cool because you can watch even more so now because so much of baseball is, well, he hits over this way, so we're gonna move people to this side of the field, so you can see how the shift is done and everything, so you can really see it from up high. But before the days of the shift, you could still see how the center fielder would move from straightaway center. It'd take a few steps away, because this is where the hitter tends to hit to. The strategy of baseball maybe is a little bit more seen up there than it is down low. But So it all depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. There was nobody there. I mean, there was, but it was probably at 70%.
Yeah.
Well, that's how many fans were I could see.
Yeah.
About 70, maybe 60%.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gray seats.
Yeah.
That one. Nice day for ball game though.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I left in the 7th. I mean, it was like 1-0 forever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I'm done. It just wasn't, I'm not a baseball guy.
Right.
But up in that 320, it was like, I didn't like it. I mean, I liked my seats.
Right.
Oh, but getting to them fuckers were like,
yeah.
Going up that fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
But then it's like really compact. It's not like Heinz Field at top. There's not a lot of open space up there.
No.
You know what I mean? And I felt like it was just kind of, I don't know. I like the bottom level better.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
I like that whole bottom level. I like the openness of it.
There's more going on in that bottom level.
Yeah.
It's wider. Like, you're right. When you get up to the top, like, it's like, here's like, a generic snack shop, and maybe here's a generic, you can buy a souvenir from here.
Yeah.
At the bottom level, like, you have like the team store, and
there's
like that whole section of like restaurants and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah, but
going
it's like
on.
when you get when you get to the top of that escalator, you get to that first level.
Yeah.
It's like you just entered like 1935.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of
gorgeous.
dark under there.
Yeah.
It's like
you get to that top level, it's
Yeah. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, there's like nothing up there that's like, specialty.
Nah.
Like, it's all generic at that point.
Yeah.
Like, all the good stuff is down below.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not traveling all the way down there and fucking go down there and get that stuff. I wasn't gonna walk up that fucking serpentine again.
Yeah.
There ain't no fucking way.
That was the only, like, one of the things I loved about having Nancy with me is, like, she would leave. Like, she'd be like, because we get tickets, like, with her and her sister and her kids. I was the only one there to watch the game.
Right.
Everybody else there was there for the ambiance of the game. And I'd tell Nancy, I'm like, okay, all the way over in left field, there is a guy with a grill. Okay? I want you to get me, they've got big foot-long sausages. It's like an open kiosk. Like, you'll see him. It's no problem. And she would come back like an hour later with my fucking sausage.
Nice.
I walked all the way down there for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. But there's like nothing.
Yeah.
Up at that level, like
no, nothing at all.
So,
like, even in the outfield, like, the outfield section, like, there's like all, and like they made great pains to let you know about like the party sections they have out there now, and like all these enhancements they made to, like, it make the game day experience better. Well, when the team sucks, you better make something better.
Yeah.
And it's like they made like all this big to-do about like what they did, like these renovations they made to like the outfield area. And, like, there's a ton of shit back there. Like there's all sorts of like specialty cook. I mean, the one catcher, I can't remember his name. He's got like a barbecue place back there.
Wow.
And he sits back there, tells stories. Great.
Really?
Oh yeah, I went there pregame one time. Like, listened to him for like 45 minutes telling old time stories about like the '70s Pirates.
Wow.
Yeah, orgies that he went to and whatnot.
Nice.
No. But like, I mean, that's the stuff that goes on, like, all over the park. But you get to that 300 section, you are fucked, poor person.
Yeah.
Like, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a Permanis up there.
No.
You are getting like generic hot dog popcorn. Like,
yeah,
the basics up there.
And like all they had up there was like Coors Light and Miller's Light.
Yeah.
And Miller Light. I'm like, what the?
Ain't none of those concession guys coming up to you.
Nah, I didn't see any concessions at all.
Yeah, I mean, they still have them. Like down below. Yeah.
No, I didn't see any.
Those guys are like, my first little favorite. Go beer! Go beer here! And he's like he's fucking straining, like his like neck. It looks like he's like trying to pull 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, cotton candy! Cotton candy! Like, oh, fuck, dude, settle down. I'll take 2. Just please.
Yeah, I really liked the park on that lower level. I did not like the park where I was sitting.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the park. I liked the view of the game.
Yeah.
If they were better, I would like it even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love night games.
Yeah.
I do. It's just like, I think night games are like the best. I do. I just find them like just the best. Those lights come on, it's a different vibe.
It's with PNC Park, which continuously gets voted the best baseball park in America.
Yeah.
If not in the top 3. Like I know people, there are some people will tell you like Dodger Stadium is like the crown jewel and whatnot. And I can't argue that too much, but PNC Park is, if not the best, one of the top 3 best ballparks in all of America.
Yeah.
And when those lights come on and like you're looking at downtown Pittsburgh across the river,
yeah,
there is no better view.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
None.
Yeah. I love it. I even think it's cool that the boats sit out there waiting for balls.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, because they stink.
They're horrible.
Yeah. It's just... The fact they went into today's game with the Cubs at 500 had me shocked. But then, they lost 21-0.
That's disgusting.
It is. It's disgusting. Like, how do you... Like, I get, like, you have off days, but, like, that's just, like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, that's unexcusable. That's like, I mean, that's like something out of a movie.
Right.
Like, how bad were the Indians in Major League? Well, they lost the game 21-0.
Yeah.
No. That's a Pirate score. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So. Anyway.
Have you watched any Maulers games?
I have not.
No?
I was going to watch the first one, and apparently it was like some sort of like weather issue that they couldn't play the game, so they moved it to Monday, and I didn't get to watch it. And then they played, I thought they played tomorrow, but they played today. And I saw they won.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's tough to get excited for the Maulers because they're not playing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're playing all their games
in Alabama.
Right.
And I understand why they're doing that, especially with a young league. Like, it makes sense. Like, we're just going to keep it all focused in one place. But, like, it's hard to build...
Well, it's hard to build a fan base.
Yeah.
If your team's in Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's tough. And, I mean, and the Maulers are a name. Like, I mean, people, at least my age, our age, like, we remember the USFL.
Right.
And, like, the USFL back in the 80s was, like, a legitimately competitive league with the NFL.
Right.
Except they played in the spring. But they were signing all of this major talent.
Yeah.
Like, they were going and getting guys before they could get drafted by the NFL and signing them.
Right.
So, like, guys like Jim Kelly, Reggie White.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon didn't play in the USFL. He was
sure?
Canadian.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But Steve Young.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a long list of guys who played in the USFL that are Hall of Famers now in the NFL. On both sides of the ball. So, but like, it was like this thing of like, they were going out and they were signing competitive NFL talent to competitive NFL salaries.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, this league is clearly not that. It's not meant to be that. And like, I try so hard to get excited about spring football, whenever it comes around. I tried watching the AAF. I probably watched more AAF games than anything else. Then they folded, and then there was the XFL. But they were actually doing well ratings wise until the pandemic started, and that shut that down. So that was like now it's going to be rebooted again by The Rock next year. But the USFL is like this branded name, and like the teams are all like the original USFL licenses.
Okay.
Like the New Jersey Generals, the Michigan Panthers, the Pittsburgh Maulers. Those were all USFL properties.
New Orleans Wave, I think that was.
Yeah.
Or right?
I think so. Yeah. So it's one of those things where like that excited me. I got excited. Like I liked the redesign of the logos to be more modern.
Yeah.
But still have that like you look at that Maulers logo and you say, well, that's the Maulers logo. It's been modernized, but I still recognize it as what those guys wore.
Yeah.
I'd love to get a hat.
Yeah.
But it's tough to like yeah, I'm a Maulers fan because they're in Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the tough part.
Yeah.
So I hope it works out. I do. I think there needs to be a place where guys can develop and hopefully make their way to the NFL.
Yeah.
I think there are guys who, like, you see a handful of them now and again. Like Tyler Heineke, he was a starting quarterback for the Washington football team last year.
Uh-huh.
Well, he played in the AAF or the XFL that spring before.
Uh-huh.
Like there are things like there are guys like that who come through who like getting that extra chance, getting a chance to put something on tape, getting a chance to play competitive football can maybe come by and enhance your team.
Yeah.
I for like guys like linemen, I think it's getting in there and getting reps and showing what you can do is big. I think for quarterbacks it's huge because you can help make that transition from college to pro football,
right?
Which a lot of guys have a problem with, and this could help. So, I mean, there's a lot to it, but it's also just bad football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you watch it and you go, wow, this is like, there's a reason why these guys all played Division II football. So there's a good to it and there's a bad to it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, the guys who stick out, like, you hope, like, they can make that transition to the NFL. And the guys who don't, they're just bad.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my week.
Yeah. It's an exciting week, if I may say so.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything quite anywhere near that exciting. So, I did hear some interesting news. I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
Jason Newsted, he formerly of Metallica, bassist, he talked about in an interview he was asked to be in a Van Halen tribute tour.
Okay.
This would have been the lineup. Alex Van Halen on drums, David Lee Roth on vocals, Jason Newsted on bass, and Joe Satriani on guitar.
Wow.
Now, Joe Satriani, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Joe Satriani. Like, I enjoy Joe Satriani. I listened to a lot of his stuff over the years. He should be in your top 10 guitarists of all time, probably.
Yeah.
He's that damn good. So, like, having him play, like, do Eddie Van Halen made sense.
Uh-huh.
Newsted said he said no to this because it felt like a cash grab. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
My thought was, why are you calling Michael Anthony?
Dude, they won't.
They won't.
They
won't.
Dude.
Like, I don't know if
Michael
like
Anthony is not part of that family at all.
No. Like, I don't know if like he got caught fucking somebody's wife.
Nah.
Or
Well,
what?
that's been going on for a while.
Right. But I mean, like, it has. You're right. But I mean, it's just like they threw him to the curb and never looked back.
No.
And they won't.
No.
And it's like shocking to me.
I know. But, I mean, he's probably the best backup vocalist you'll ever see in a band.
Absolutely. 100%.
Over Sambora, over...
Yeah.
I know that sounds odd to a lot of people out there, but he's probably one of the best backing vocals you'll ever have in a band. Ever.
You listen to, like, any Van Halen album.
It's all Michael Anthony.
It's Michael Anthony as the background vocal is amazing.
Yeah. He carries the whole fucking song.
And I mean, he's an amazing bassist as well.
Yeah. And especially the stuff that he did with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, oh, yeah, like with Chicken Foot and what, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but...
Well, I mean, Chicken Foot also had Joe Satriani on guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so...
But even with, what I'm saying is, even with Hagar and Van Halen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because Van Halen went from Roth, which was fine.
You're right.
I'm not going to get into the debate. We're not going to discuss it. But then you went into... When you went into Van Hagar...
More mature vocals, more mature melodies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he took his game to the next
just
level.
Just produced sound. I mean, it was really quality work.
I mean, you listen to a song like How Do I Know When It's Love?
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to his background vocal.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, like, everything that they did together.
Yeah.
With Van Halen was just absolutely fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fitting that Michael Anthony hangs out with Sam Hagar.
Right.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Musically, it makes sense.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's like Sammy was like, you know, well, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, when they threw him out of Van Halen for like Wolfgang.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I was flaming pissed. Because I'm like, I get it. You want to work with your kid. You know, and Dave's a yes man because he needs the money. But, like, really? Like this guy who's been with you for 30 fucking years. You're just throwing him to the cold.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're no longer a part of Van Halen.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Like, I was like, we're gonna. And Joe Satriani came out. He's like, yeah, we're still thinking about doing it. And I'm just like, first off, no one wants to hear David Lee Roth.
They don't.
No, I'm sorry. Like, Dave has lost it. He's done.
Yeah.
Stick a fork in him. Yeah, but Dave sees dollar signs.
Yeah.
And apparently he has a relationship with Alex Van Halen still, and he's probably talking to Alex like, hey, man, we can make some money, man. I need some money, man. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, if you're going to do it, let's bring back the singer who can still sing.
Yeah, yeah. To support the singer that can sing.
Yeah. Let's go get Gary Sharon. No.
Yeah, right.
No. Let's get Sammy.
Yeah.
And he'll bring Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll have a much more cohesive Van Halen than two original members, a guest bassist, and Joe Satriani on guitar.
Because Sammy can still sing.
Oh, very well. Like, he still has the pipes.
Yeah. He has not lost his pipes.
I saw some concert footage from, like, earlier this year, and, I mean, he was, like, going to town.
Yeah, he can still sing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
That's why I said, when we went to that show... Or was that me and you that went to that show?
No, you wanted me to go and I couldn't.
Oh, that's right.
But I told you, going to that show, I was like, you're going to go to that show, and David Lee Roth is going to be the party. Sammy Hagar is going to invite you to his party.
That show, David Lee Roth was good.
Yeah.
And he even played Ice Cream Man on guitar.
Yeah.
Which I was... I think that's what I took away from the show was like, holy shit, this guy can really play.
Yeah.
I mean, he was jamming on guitar.
Yeah.
There's no lie. He was playing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know? But after that, it was like David Lee Roth show. You know?
Yeah.
It was okay. You know?
Yeah.
The sound was good.
Yeah.
But it, you know, David Lee Roth, you know?
Yeah.
And when fucking Sammy Hagar came out, that it completely just totally flipped me on Van Halen.
Yeah.
Because I've always, I grew up with Van Halen.
Yeah.
So I like Van Halen.
Yeah.
But hearing Hagar was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was just like, it went from like stage AE.
Yeah.
And then when Sammy came on, it was like a stadium.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, holy fuck. It was like a wall of sound.
Because Dave comes out and he's like, it's me, 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 me. You want to see me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and he does his shit and he, you know, and he goes off and, you know, like, yeah, everybody want to see David Lee Roth. And then Sammy comes out and he's like, let's have some fucking fun. Give me the tequila.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And his singing was so impressive.
Yeah.
It always amazes me. But see, it's worth it. See, we talked about, like, well, I kind of want to remember them when they were young. And da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Sammy still got it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's one guy that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Same thing with Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. When he's not involved with the NWA, wrestling, that is.
No, but what I'm saying is like...
Yeah. Yeah, Billy Corgan.
His vocals are
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're perfect. And I have to say, I couldn't believe it either, but Bruce Dickinson can still pipe out
yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
melodies. I mean, like, there was a couple times where he couldn't get where he used to be. You know what I mean? And so he dropped it.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hear you, sir. I hear you.
Yeah.
I understand, sir.
I salute you still.
Like, you're still fucking jamming out to Run to the Hills.
Yeah.
And I respect you for not being able to hit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
everything else is so fucking good. And I just saw the fucking trooper coming at me in a fucking airplane.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
But everything, like, that show was really good.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like for those types of bands, I would go see them.
Yeah.
Like, I would still go, if he came this year, I would go see Rob Halford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or Corgan, or Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I would even go as far to say, like, what's his name hasn't lost it either. And I'm not really that huge of a fan. But I did like the band. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll say that I like them. But Bret Michaels can sing.
Yeah.
And like I've heard his acoustic sets are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like he'll come down to the Hard Rock or whatever and throw on a show. But Bret Michaels can still sing.
Yeah.
You know. But then you got Vince Neil, man.
Yeah. Come on, man, Vince. Stop it.
Yeah. And it sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, in my head, I'm like, man, why couldn't he be one of the guys that can still sing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, God, he was so good. He was one of the major frontmen of rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got this fucked up band and, like...
Yeah.
You got this fucking wicked singer, you know? And why couldn't he be one of the guys that just still had it?
Yeah.
So it's like depressing. You know what I mean?
It is. It's like those people who I saw Ozzy on his last tour. Did you really see Ozzy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, there are a few of those times, and he's just shuffling around.
I don't know, though. I've heard some people that went and see Ozzy that say, like, he is like a different person when he's on stage.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, it's like... there's a difference between seeing Ozzy in, like, 1996.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing Ozzy in 2016.
Oh, agreed.
You know, like a huge... And I'm talking... I mean, in 1996, Ozzy was already, like, an old guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like...
I want to... You know... It's funny. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to see Ozzy with Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
But that was out... That I couldn't... That was...
70s. I mean, I would have loved to see Ozzy with Randy Rhoads.
Well, yeah.
You know.
That's what I mean, like...
Yeah.
But that's what I was going to say. To see Ozzy on Bark at the Moon...
Yeah.
Tour...
Yeah.
Oh... Oh my god!
Yeah.
I would take Jakey Lee too off of Ultimate Sin.
Ultimate Sin, yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah. Whew. Like how did like Sharon Osbourne find amazing guitarists?
Oh my god!
Like I mean, it's like baffling to me.
Every guitarist he has had
Yeah.
has been phenomenal in their own right.
Yeah.
Jakey Lee still plays.
Oh yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
And there's definitely Zakk Wylde influence in that later Ozzy music.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it was like Zach was writing that music.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. He was like, I'm trying to write Ozzy music, but it sounds like me. I can't help it.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's like now someone says Ozzy, I'm like,
Speaking of great guitarists, you know what I watched the other day? Just a clip of it. The finale of Crossroads.
Did you?
Yeah.
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai is and he looked like the devil.
He did. He looked evil.
Yeah. Steve Vai, it was like when David Lee Roth went solo for 2 albums, he just basically rebuilt Van Halen with Steve Vai as his Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
And Steve Vai is, again, one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Who was in that band? Steve Vai.
I'd have to look it up. I don't know who. It was a 4-man group.
I know, but
he basically
who he had was like
he put an all-star version of Van Halen together.
Yeah,
because that's all we knew.
Yeah,
those 2 albums, look, Eat 'Em and Smile and Skyscraper, are just like Van Halen albums from that time period.
Right.
It's just no Van Halen.
Yeah, I know.
You know, which is funny. It's like when Steve Perry did a solo album. Oh Sherry sounds like a Journey song.
Oh, it does.
You know, if you didn't know anybody, you think, well, that's just Journey.
What's
you know?
Yeah.
No, it's Steve Perry by himself. Really? Yeah, it just sounds like Journey. I think it's all he knows how to write.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it. Billy Sheehan was on bass.
Billy Sheehan was on bass, yeah.
Greg Bissonette on drums.
Yeah.
Steve Vai and Roth.
Yeah. It was just a four-man band. It was just Van Halen.
It was almost like a super group.
Yeah. Like David Lee Roth went out and was like, well, if I can't be in Van Halen, I'll find a better version of Van Halen.
Yeah, but Eat 'Em and Smile, when that came out, dude.
Oh, that would kill him.
That should have set him up for life. Should have.
Killer album. Top to bottom, that is a killer album.
Yeah. Skyscraper was okay.
Yeah, Skyscraper was it was a good album, but Eat 'Em and Smile is just fucking killer.
Yeah. When I first heard Yankee Rose, I was like,
oh
my God, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Keep making this.
Yeah.
And then he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That third album,
happened?
That third album when he lost Steve Vai.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
But what I'm saying is, like, if he would have made 4 albums, like Eat 'Em and Smile,
yeah,
he'd have been one of the richest rock stars in the world.
Right.
Now, we would have been talking about him like not Jagger or
right.
McCartney level or Elton John level.
Right.
But
he'd have been set.
He'd have been set.
Yeah.
Craziest shit you ever seen on video.
Yeah.
The videos that they put out, we were like, what the fuck?
And and Yankee Rose is so fucking good. Play a national anthem for him. Wow, wow.
That's right.
Oh, I was just like, shit, that's good.
And then Roth coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, Yankee Rose.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh.
She's wild. Oh, and then it hits.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I want to listen to it right now. It's just such a good song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what, to me, I think that, I love today's rock and all the different, alleyways you can go down in music. But there is something inside of me still that wants to hear Yankee Rose. It's not just Yankee Rose, but there you go. It's not just Yankee Rose, it's something about it.
Well, let me roll up onto the side. is beautiful. Talking about a Yankee Rose.
Right here.
She
If I'm in the stadium, it's coming right now.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, killer. Like, that lead is great, but when that hits...
Oh, yeah.
When that boom, 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 you're just like, shit.
And his vocals are on point. Like, the music is... It's like well built. It crescendos into that part, and it's just like just hits you right on.
Yeah.
Man, that's some good stuff.
Oh.
But I think that's what I miss from rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like I miss that hit where it's like, man, that's fucking good. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been a band in a long time for me that hits me like that.
Yeah.
You know, that just like punches you in the mouth and you're like, that's some good shit right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like Yankee Rose is like one of those songs. When I first heard White Zombie,
oh yeah,
it was like, this is some badass motherfucking shit right here.
yeah,
Right. Now I didn't really like it when he went to electronica.
yeah,
But
still,
those-
like more
that-
human than human. Like when that hits,
Thunder Kiss.
oh fuck, Thunder Kiss.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when I first heard Outshine by
Yeah.
Soundgarden,
Yeah,
Man in the Box. When I first heard that,
yeah,
if I'm going to get into a little bit of grunge, those are the two grunge
Right.
songs that I would go to.
right.
But Outshine's a badass fucking song, and people like. I mean, I get Chris. I mean, God love him, man. He was one of the best singers ever. Chris Cornell, no doubt,
Hands down.
ever.
Ever. Yeah, I can't argue that. Having seen him live,
Yeah.
it was like I liked him. I liked Chris Cornell. I liked Soundgarden. I liked what he did with what's the name
Temple
of
of the
band?
Dog?
No, not Temple. Well, I like Temple of the Dog, but no, when
Oh yeah.
what's his name left,
Yeah.
the lead singer left Rage Against the Machine. I can't remember what the name of that band was.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Agree with that. Anyway.
but yeah, like, that was
What?
amazing.
Audio
Slave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Audio
buddy.
Slave. Audio Slave was fucking amazing. But like
My twin's born out of time.
yeah. But like it was like one of those deals where like when I saw him live and I saw him open for Linkin Park.
Uh-huh.
You know, talk about, you know, two lost souls, you know. And I've seen Linkin Park 3 times. And this was like the time it was like, because when he did the Temple of the Dog song, when he did a Hunger Strike, Chester came out and did Hunger Strike with him.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I bet that was incredible.
Oh, fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like, I can't believe I'm fucking hearing this. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I had a recording of this.
Right.
You know, and at the end, he came out and did a couple songs with Linkin Park. At the end, I was like, oh, it was fucking nuts. I mean, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen because of the talent.
Yeah.
Like seeing Chris Cornell live and hearing his voice, and like I stood next to him, like he came down the aisle where we were sitting, and I was just standing like at the end of the aisle, and like hearing him like right there next to me singing as he walked down the aisle. I was like, I feel like I'm touched by an angel.
Yeah, I mean, like
His voice was that fucking good.
yeah, you can't compare.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not compare, but like, his voice holds up on so many levels.
Right.
That it's just. So anyway, going back to Yankee Rose and like these songs and stuff like that. But when I first heard Outshine on the radio,
Oh yeah.
I'd never heard anything like that. And
Yeah.
this is before Man in the Box came out. And like, this is before Nirvana. This is out. Soundgarden was out before all this stuff.
Right.
And when I heard that on the radio, I was like, oh my, what is this? You know?
Yeah.
And like, that album, you talk about heavy. That is a fucking heavy album. That song is really heavy.
Yeah.
It's like dark.
Yeah.
And then you hear this voice over top of it, like,
Yeah.
just singing the shit out of this song.
Yeah.
You know? My God, that song that's a good song. But like it's
The only,
those songs
the only
that I
other
miss.
band I could say in the 90s that hit me like that.
Toto. I'm just kidding.
Toto, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh yeah. Different band.
Different band, but I mean,
Man,
like
that guy.
Scott Weiland's voice.
He could sing. Dude.
Yeah, and if you listen to him with Velvet Underground,
Oh man.
which is just basically fucking Guns N' Roses with Scott Weiland on vocals, that shit is amazing.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, like the first time I heard Stone Temple Pilots, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Because this is good, and it's different from what everybody else is doing.
Oh yeah, they were completely different.
Yeah, they got lumped into grunge, but man, that was some shit right there. I was like,
Well, a lot of their songs really rocked though.
yeah, like you could tell his influence was
Yeah.
metal. Like he had a hard
sang,
rock
dude.
background and an amazing voice.
Yeah, a great lead man,
Yeah,
frontman.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, Stone Temple Pilots is the stuff he's known for, buddy. You listen to fucking Velvet Revolver. Particularly that first album that they released, that is fucking killer.
is that one with Fall to Pieces on
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah. He's amazing.
yeah,
And that says it's like those bands I miss that just like fucking punched you in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like we talked about, like the first time you heard Motley Crue with
Doug.
no, the album, Too Fast for Love.
Oh.
Like that you put the needle down and that. I mean, right off the bat, that just like crush you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, this is different.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, you have to understand, like, even though they dressed up the part sometimes,
Yeah.
Motley Crue was never glam metal.
No, they weren't.
Ever. They always get lumped sometimes in that category as glam, but they were not. They were on the level of, like, Wasp, and they were, like, on more popular, of course.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah. I liked Wasp. I listened to Wasp.
You and four other people just made that connection.
Yeah, I know.
Wasp.
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck is that?
Wasp. Who was that? Blackie Lawless.
Blackie Lawless, yeah.
Yeah. Talk about holy retrieval.
Yeah.
But I.
That's like me making a Jackal reference for some reason.
Wow, with the chainsaw.
Yeah. Jesse James Dupree.
But Crew was like. When I first heard Crew, I think probably the first song I heard. Probably the first song I heard by Crew was probably Shot at the Devil.
Yeah.
And then once I listened to that song, it had to have been Shot at the Devil. Once I listened to that song, I was like, it just hits you in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Red Hot, I think, is on there.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a lot of songs on there. But when I first heard it, I was like, damn, this shit's good. And then I went back
Yeah.
to Too Fast for Love.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that. The entire album.
Yeah.
The entire album's good. There's not a bad song on that album.
Yeah.
And then I got it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this band's good.
Then you get the Theater of Pain.
Yeah, a couple songs off Theater of Pain. And one of the songs that I don't like from Crew, that's never on my playlist, is Smoking in the Boys' Room. I hate the fucking song. I hate it.
No, I don't care for it either. But like Theater of Pain was like the Black Album.
No.
Well, I'm gonna say it in this respect. I'm not comparing the two, but it was the album. Like you listen to the Shot at the Devil, you listen to Too Fast for Love. Those are hard albums. That was the album that they kind of commercialized themselves a little bit more.
Agreed, commercialized, but I don't think the album worked.
No, it didn't, because you listen to those first two albums, you're like, well, this, like, you at least got from Metallica, you got one. Like, one was the introduction of Metallica to mainstream America.
Right.
You know, and everyone was kind of like, what the fuck is this? And then comes the Black Album, which is more commercial in feel than any other album previously.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a commercial album. I mean, it is in a way, but I mean, it's a hard, heavy-hitting album.
Yeah.
I feel that's the same thing with, because you had Too Fast for Love, you have Shout Out the Devil. Shout Out the Devil had some mainstream success, but, didn't. And you get Theater of Pain, and you get
Home Sweet
Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
Home Sweet Home is the home run that makes Motley Crue and allows them to do Girls, Girls, Girls. Allows them to do
Dr. Phil.
Feel Good, But that's the album that's like, we need to change just a little bit,
Right.
so that Casey Kasem will play us.
Right. Home Sweet Home. It's another one of those songs. I mean, not kick you in your teeth type, but it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
They can come at me with 1,000 knives or
Right.
1,000 arrows like in Hero, and I'll be waiting for it. I'll
Right.
still defend Home Sweet Home.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's vocally, musically, it's fucking great.
Right.
It is.
The only problem is that's the song that launches the South and power ballads.
Yeah.
Now the formula becomes, okay, we're going to take this band, we're going to take them off of Sunset Strip. What we need you to do is write a song like this so we can get you mainstream play so that the girls like you. Once the girls like you, the guys will like you, and you're selling 1 million records.
Right.
And so that's what every band's formula after that was.
Right. No, I agree with you.
know.
But there was nothing like Home Sweet Home.
No, I mean,
But then when you get into Girls, 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 that's a wicked album.
it is.
It is.
It Girls, Girls, Girls is honestly like Motley Crue saying, yeah, we need to go back to what we were doing.
Right. And it was almost like throwing it up in these glam bands' faces, though.
A little bit, yeah.
They're like, fuck you, I'm going to ride my motorcycle, drink and do a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it was. Honestly, it was like, they kind of like said, like, okay, we did the commercial album we had to do to become successful. Let's go back to being Motley Crue. And here's Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah, and then Dr. Feelgood was a great album.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it was cool, their evolution.
Yeah.
And they ended up coming out of that evolution. They made a couple, good albums.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Later on.
Yeah.
But Dr. Feelgood was a great album.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, man, Girls, Girls, Girls. That was a wild album.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff came out.
Kickstart My Heart was, I mean, that's fucking.
Yeah. Punch you in your fucking teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just starts off that way. And
Like Livewire did to me.
yeah.
Livewire, because I'm alive. But I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. But I still say, I mean, that's what's missing from, I think that's what's missing. I miss that, kick you in your teeth style of hard hitting, gives you chills when you hear it type of music. You know what I mean?
I honestly thought, this is a weird thing to say. I honestly thought, like, those Guitar Hero games were gonna, at this point, would have given us a generation that had gone back a little bit to the Guitar God.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the thing that you talk about a little bit that's is what's missing is like the Guitar Hero, the like those just bitching guitar solos, that ripping guitar in these songs. Like if you look at what a lot of these bands that we talk about all share in common, what is it? An amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
And like even like Metallica. I mean, you have to have an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kirk Hammett is one of the all-time greats. You know? But, like, it's like one of these things where, like, you have to have this amazing guitarist who is willing to, like, put it out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I honestly thought, like, the Guitar Hero game was going to inspire the next generation. Because there's been a long period from the time Nirvana hit through now where the guitarist has been kicked to the background.
Right.
It's about the singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
It has been for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've just been waiting for like that next great guitar hero to rise up and save us all. And it's I honestly thought by now it would happen based upon those games. If somebody would have said like, okay, I'm hearing this music, I'm inspired by it. Now let me go and play what has inspired me to play.
Right.
And it hasn't done that, unfortunately.
Weird, huh?
A little bit, yeah. But there are other ways to have your teeth kicked in, I've found, though.
Okay.
Muse.
You like Muse?
I like Muse a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, Knights of Sidonia, that song will kick your teeth in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of their music for a three-man group. And, I mean, a lot of it's electrical. But it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you listen to it, and you're just like, oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, and it may not kick your teeth in like Crew did.
No.
But it's still, it's a hit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a real hit to you where you're like, ooh, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it.
It's a different style of hit. Like, I mean, and it's weird to say, but like, I think they're a band that, from an evolutionary standpoint, they've taken kind of like that feeling, and they've taken it in a different direction and made it work for them.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're one of the better modern bands. And I say that like, you know, they've been around for like 20 fucking years. But they are one of the better modern bands that like I saw them in concert. I mean, they were amazing in concert.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched like one of my all-time favorites is like their version of the version they did of Knights of Sidonia in Rome with like this harmonica beginning. Like it's like this like old Western sounding harmonica that they start off with, and then it does its little piece. It's like a prelude at the beginning, and then it goes into this, and you're just like, oh shit, that's good. You know, so there's like I always get picked on because it's like, you know, I'm an old man that listens to modern music, and you're right, I am. But there are some modern bands like I like it's stuff that Nancy will play that like I'll listen to Muse on my own. I'll like listen to Muse, but like there are some bands like Walk the Moon that like when she plays, I'm like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, there are some music I've found that's more modern that I enjoy, but I'm not going to seek it out per se.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'd much rather drive around listening to the Eagles. You know, or Bryan Adams.
What's so funny, you know, I'm thinking, I mean, the girls are so much more than modern bands. You know,
Right.
they'll play stuff and I'll like a lot what they're playing, and
Right.
I probably get on their nerves because I'm always asking them, you know, who's this, you know. But I tell you what, when I first heard, now this is years ago, but in my head it's still new music, but it's not. But when I first heard Fall Out Boy, I loved them.
Yeah.
Like Sugar We're Going. I mean, that's a good fucking song, and that kicked me.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
The one that hit you the hardest though, and you were like hardcore into them for quite some time. You probably still are. Wolf Mother.
Oh, I liked Wolf Mother.
Yeah. I mean, you were like,
Yeah,
you were pushing it hard. I mean, like, you got to listen to this.
it was good.
I mean, it is good, but you were like, this is the next big thing, motherfucker.
Well, I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I did because
Yeah.
I was like, wow, man, this
Yeah.
guy. And I went to that show at Smalls.
Yeah.
And I saw him at Smalls, and I think it was Mr. Smalls. Pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
And I was just fucking blown away by the sound that this 3-piece was throwing out.
Right.
It was like unbelievable. And this
Yeah.
guy's vocally, this guy was incredible.
Yeah.
I felt like not only was I watching a good singer, but it was reminding me of Plant, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and this was like a modern day Plant. Like,
Yeah.
I'm watching the future here. Because I mean, like,
Right.
I thought seriously, I thought they were going to go to the fucking moon.
Right.
Because it was just a good sound.
Right.
But I didn't. I did like Wolf Mother. I
Yeah.
thought they were great.
Yeah. I mean, you were hardcore into them.
I was. And like with like I think the and I love the music. But I never really like say got kicked in the teeth by it, but
Right.
Angels and Airways.
Yeah.
And I mean I like Blink, but that was kind of beyond Blink. I mean I like their music. I still like Together for the Kids. But I mean, like, I think it's one of their hardest hitting. But when it came to Angels and Airways, I was like, yeah, it's good. I love it. I mean, I love the music. I mean,
Yeah.
I've listened to a lot of Angels. But when the girls took me to that show, and seeing them live, I was absolutely blown fucking away.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think I was going to be.
Yeah.
But I was.
Yeah.
Like, I was absolutely taken aback by the sound.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is probably one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of fucking COVID.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like nervous, you know what I mean?
Right.
But just to hear that full sound and that, it was just absolutely incredible to me. It was. And I still, they're still high on my list. High.
Yeah.
But thinking of good bands that have come out, when I first heard Rooster, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Chains did that for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just where I was in my life
Right.
at that point,
Yeah.
but Chains answered everything that I was seeking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it was dark and it was depressing and it was grunge and stuff like that. But from Facelift, and then to Dirt, and that was like when they went from Facelift to Dirt. You got this raw and Facelift, and you went to Dirt that was more produced.
Yeah.
And then of course the ever holy Unplugged.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's 9 Inch Nails was that way.
yeah,
You listen to Pretty Hate Machine. It came out in 1989.
yeah,
Pretty Hate Machine is a raw album.
yeah.
It's an amazing album.
Yeah.
The first time I heard Pretty Hate Machine, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, then you listen to Downward Spiral, and that is a much more produced album than Pretty Hate Machine is. And in a way, I mean, while Downward Spiral is more successful, I prefer Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah.
Because that was a kick in the teeth.
Right.
You know, in a completely different way. But like the first time you heard Head Like a Hole,
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Were you in love?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Immediately. I was like, because I'll never forget it was 1991, and I went to Monty Waugh's house. And it was like we were drinking, he was smoking weed, and he's like, Cooner, you gotta listen to this. And he puts on Pretty Hate Machine for me, and I'm like, where the fuck has this been all my life? You know, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. You know, I gotta hear more of this. He's like, well, there's only one album. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like I was blown away by Pretty Hate Machine. To the point that when Downward Spiral came out, I couldn't wait for it. And I wasn't disappointed by it. Because it's a great album.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I wanted more of this raw power and emotion. And you gave that to me, but in a much more produced way.
Right.
You know.
We went down the music route.
We did. Let me ask you a dumb question. Has there ever been a band that's turned you around on them either way?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, here's an example. 2 examples I'll give you. I went to go see the Deep Purple in concert at the Syria Mosque.
Okay.
1992.
Okay.
The opening act was Winger.
Okay.
I didn't care for Winger.
Okay.
And I thought, it's a little girl band. They're the epitome of what's wrong with hair metal.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I hated Winger.
Yeah.
And they came out, and I was shocked at how good they were. Turned me around on them.
Okay.
To the point that I went out and I bought those first 2 albums.
Wow.
Because they were so good.
Okay.
You know, completely turned me around on them. Yeah, so
Okay.
like to me, like that was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
The other direction, though, and it's sad,
Yeah.
is Aerosmith.
Oh, really?
Like for years, all I heard about is how great Aerosmith was live, and I saw them in the mid '90s, and they were fucking awful.
Really?
Yeah. So like it's one of those deals where like I mean I still love Aerosmith, I still listen to their music, but like it was like such a bad experience. I kind of like it always leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like I don't search out their music anymore because of how bad that show was.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Mine, this is going way back, but so when Lisa and I first met, she was goth. She still is goth.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she plays Switchblade Symphony
Right.
in the kitchen today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're more in line with Lisa's music than I am.
Yeah, especially like the alternative stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we went down to Oakland
Uh-huh.
to the Upstage.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember they used to have live shows
Yeah.
at the Upstage.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Lisa listens to Bauhaus.
Yeah.
Right. And I liked Bauhaus. I mean, they were dark.
Yeah.
But there's some songs, especially Ziggy. I mean, there's a version of Ziggy Stardust. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah.
And so we went down to the Upstage, and Daniel Ash was playing.
Okay.
And so I went there with, like, I'm going to get hammered. Because I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
I haven't even...
Is it so far out of my wheelhouse?
Way out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't even tell you a song that Love and Rockets
Yeah.
made. And people that don't know, Daniel Ash is the guitarist in Bauhaus.
Right.
And so I went in there. I'm starting to drink. You know what I mean? You know, I was like, I got to drink to get through this. And by the end, I was completely fucking amazed.
Yeah.
What this guy was putting out.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Completely impressed. I was like, this is a great show.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my turnaround. Show-wise... I don't have it the other way. I
Yeah.
don't think. I can't think of a band like that's not coming to mind
Right.
that went the other way. Where I was like,
Right.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But I've been to shows. That's the turning point for me too. Is like, you know, you could take it another way too. Like, you listen to them on the radio and stuff like that, and then when you go into a show, you're like Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah.
That completely turns you like to a super fan.
Yeah. Right.
And I was a super fan on their first album, but then I kind of lost track of them over time.
Right.
But dude, when I saw Disturbed, I was blown away like I was blown away with Hagar.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I have never been at a concert where I just felt like, I don't know, it's sort of like fucking magical or something.
Yeah.
Like it's this rush.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when I saw him live, and they were, I think they were playing fire. I can't remember what they were playing, but I looked behind me, dude, and there's fucking, the whole fucking stage is on fire, and I can feel the fucking heat coming at me, and people are singing, and I realized I'm so tuned in to him and the band that I realized that, man, all these fucking people are singing, and like the words come out 10,000 fists, and I'm like, look behind me, and there's like the entire lawn is fucking singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it was weird. It was weird. It was like I was at a rally or something.
Like a religious moment.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's the one moment I've had. And I've been to some shows, and I've been, you know, a lot of Metallica shows and stuff like that, and you know, where it's audience participation and stuff like
Right.
that. Nothing compares to what I saw at that Disturbed show.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I was like a religious festival.
Yeah.
It was like something out of like, it was so weird. But I get it, because I mean, they were so good live.
Yeah.
And he sings so well
Right.
live too.
Yeah.
It was like, I almost wanted to cry.
Yeah.
I felt like I was, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like I felt like I was home. Like, after all these shows and all these bands and all this stuff on the radio I've listened to all this time, I went to this one Disturbed show, and I'm like, I have found my place on Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was so weird. It was so strange. Even seeing Crew live.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. But I still... Maiden's probably close second. But when I saw Disturbed, I felt like this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know that sounds crazy.
No, I kind of get it.
I just couldn't believe what was happening around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was even better that I had seats for that show.
Yeah.
I didn't sit much, but I mean...
Right.
It was one of the best shows I've ever been to. Out of all the bands, especially my top favorite bands, Disturbed is the best show I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Anyway. What's the best show you've ever been to? What's the best concert you ever went to?
It was...
That had to be that Soundgarden show.
No.
I mean, like...
It was... I mean, no. It was Chris Cornell solo.
Oh, it was solo. Okay.
It was solo, but he did a lot of Soundgarden. He did a lot of Audioslave. He did a lot of his own stuff. No, and that's close. I mean, that... Because especially now looking back at...
What you saw.
Right. Because like just a couple years later, they were both gone.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. Seeing Van Halen.
Oh, man.
I saw him 1994 on the Right Here, Right Now tour.
Oh, wow.
That was probably... Because that was a show, I mean, it was sold out. It was at Star Lake. The place was jam-packed. And, like... I don't know how to describe it, because it was like that band, like it's always in my entire life has been three bands. It's been Led Zeppelin, Queen, and Van Halen.
Okay.
The closest I ever came to seeing Led Zeppelin was the first concert I ever went to was I saw Jimmy Page, and that was a great show, but it wasn't Led Zeppelin.
Sure.
I'll never see Queen.
Right.
That's I don't want to see some doctored up version of Queen with Adam Lambert or whoever as the lead singer. I wanted to see Freddie Mercury, and I'll never get to see that. But seeing Van Halen, like, at the top of their power, like, this was like, they had 3 albums with Sammy, so the only thing they did from the David Lee Roth era was Jump and Panama. Everything else was Sammy Hagar, Van Halen. And seeing them at the height of their power was just like, fuck. This is amazing. I can't believe... And I mean, I was all the way at the top of the fucking hill.
Okay.
Like nowhere near the stage. And I could still feel like that, the power of that band. Like it was just amazing to me.
Crazy, right?
It was. Like the Chris Cornell Linkin Park show, it ranks up not only just because of like what happened to him just a couple years ago, but like it was just a great show.
Yeah.
It probably should be in my top 5.
Right.
But like because I didn't have as strong, like for Nancy, that's probably one of her top shows ever.
Okay.
Because of the connection she had, particularly to Linkin Park.
Right.
And to have Chris Cornell there was just like icing on the cake.
Right.
Like I would say like a close second to that, and this is going to sound really weird, was when I saw Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I saw him at Star Lake. The whole overall show was amazing because it was Rob Halford, Queensryche,
Oh my God.
and Iron Maiden.
Oh my God. What a show.
Oh, and it was the Wicker Man tour.
Oh,
So to put this in
man.
perspective for you,
That's the album after Fear of the Dark, right?
Yeah.
Am I right on
I think
that?
so. Yeah. I mean, so Halford was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Queensryche was, and this was still like when the Jeff Tate still had his vocals.
Yeah.
So it was Jeff Tate on vocals, and you're just like, they only played for like an hour, but it was like an amazing hour. And then you follow that up with Maiden, and it wasn't the grand show that like you see like on like the videos from the 80s or the show that you saw. It was a stripped down version of their show.
Yeah.
But it was just, we're just going to play for 2 fucking hours and just melt your faces.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
You know?
Exactly. That made, yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, no, I know what that's. That's what they did. That's what they did when I went.
Yeah.
When I saw him.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, it was like a medley of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and 3 would probably be when I saw Peter Gabriel.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is an odd thing, like you're talking
It's
like
not.
Van Halen, Iron Maiden, and Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
But, like, I saw Peter Gabriel, I want to say it was like 90, 93. And his backup singer was Sinead O'Connor.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, like, there were some songs like Don't Give Up, where, like, she's doing the backing vocals. And you're just like, holy shit, I forgot how good she is.
Oh, she's
Like,
amazing.
Controversies and whatnot aside,
Who the fuck cares?
her voice is amazing.
Yeah,
like, you
it
know,
was.
And you think like her rendition of Nothing Compares to You has always been like the version until I heard Chris Cornell sing it. Like, honestly, like I heard a version of Chris Cornell doing that acoustically.
Amazing, right?
Oh, I was just like, because any other version, even Prince's version, compares to Sinead O'Connor until I get to Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
You know, but like having her on backing vocals and like this was like digging in the dirt Peter Gabriel, so it was like right after Sledgehammer, and he just did nothing but his greatest hits.
Yeah.
You know, you're like at the end of that show, he finishes with Biko. You know, like talk about it like most shows, they want to end on that high note.
Yeah.
And we're finishing with fucking Biko about a South African man getting beat in jail.
Right.
You know,
right.
and it made sense from a Peter Gabriel show standpoint.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I was like, I'm expecting this to finish with Sledgehammer, and he like started with that.
Right.
You know, I'm like, what the fuck's he finishing with? Oh, I get Biko, and I was like, that's amazing.
Dude.
You know.
I would say, like Disturbed being my number one. Number two would probably be. I'm going to say it. I sat third row center for Metallica on the Black Album. Which, for me, that was like a dream come true.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
The only thing that sucked about that concert is I didn't see Chains, and Chains was supposed to come.
Yeah.
But that would have been my
ultimate. Yeah.
Because I never saw Chains live.
Right. Which baffles me.
I don't know.
But, you know.
I know.
It's one of those shocking revelations of, like, that's your favorite band and you haven't found a way to see them. It's, like, it's just overly surprising.
Yeah, and I just can't do it without him there.
Yeah, I get that.
I like the new stuff.
Yeah.
I do.
But, Lane Staley was...
Yeah. It's almost sad.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because Chains was so good.
Yeah.
To me. But anyway, that show wasn't great for me. What I'm saying is like until Metallica, because it was like Suicidal and somebody else. But when Metallica came on, I mean, that was just like sitting that close.
Yeah.
It was just fucking incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I just...
Yeah.
It was... Yeah, it was crazy.
I get that.
To be that young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a dream come true to sit that close.
Yeah.
And third would probably be that Maiden show.
Yeah.
That Maiden show is like... And fourth would probably be this Pumpkins. That's close to the Maiden show.
Yeah.
But that Maiden show was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they had all the props out.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the huge, gigantor spectacular that they usually throw on.
Right. It wasn't a stadium show.
No.
You see it like
but
when they do Wembley and shit.
But it was pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I was on the floor for that.
Yeah.
And I saw it with Doug.
Yeah.
And he's the one that introduced me to Maiden.
Yeah.
And we would sit in his room and listen to Maiden and Crew and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was important, like, that I went to Maiden. Like, there are certain shows that I went to that were important to the people that I go with. I mean, especially back then.
Yeah.
And recently. But Maiden was important for me to go with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a fucking great show, and like I was blown away.
Yeah.
And it helps that I know every single fucking Maiden song. So,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see them come out and just be so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just such a good show, and I'm so glad I went.
Yeah.
Although that Rush show was pretty good.
Well, I'm going to tell you 4 and 5. 4 for me is that Rush show you and I went to.
Oh man, was that Rush show good? Oh my god.
I mean, and it's there for a number of reasons. Because number one, I think it's the only time you and I have ever gone to a concert together, and it was amazing seats, and that was just an amazing show. But it was like I got to enjoy it with you.
Oh yeah, the Rush show was good.
You know, and it was like one of those things where like you wanted me to go see Roth and Hagar with you.
I did. Oh my god!
I wish I could have gone to that show, but I couldn't. But like the fact that I got to go to that show with you, and we both got to like, I know you looked at me a couple of times and just saw the big grin on my face as I was just watching.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I mean that was just an amazing show. And 5 is gonna blow people away. Tori Amos.
Really?
Yeah.
Tori Amos.
Tori Amos. I had floor seats for Tori Amos at the Civic Arena.
Wow.
And it wasn't. They didn't have seats. It was just standing room only on the floor. So I was maybe 15 yards away from the stage.
Okay.
And this is gonna sound weird because like I like Tori Amos, like, and I remember the first time I heard her. It was a video for one of her songs on MTV.
Uh-huh.
And it was like I think it was like 120 minutes I was watching.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself, she has an absolutely amazing voice. I'll probably never hear from this person again. And I seeked her out. Like I was like, I remember writing down her name, the name of the album, because back in the day when MTV showed videos, at the beginning and the end of the video, they would put up that information,
right.
The artist name, the name of the song, and sometimes the name of the album.
Yeah.
And later on, like the director of the video. But so I wrote that information down and I bought that tape. Mm-hmm. I was like blown away by like the power of her voice. And I mean, most of her first 2 albums were just her and a piano.
Yeah.
And I even found like an EP she put out, and there's a version of the Rolling Stones' Wild Horses, which is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But there's also a version of Smells Like Teen Spirit that she does.
Okay.
That is absolutely haunting because it's again just her and the piano.
Yeah.
Doing that song.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it takes on like, I don't want to say a different meaning, but a different feeling.
Yeah.
And then so I followed her career, like it was her 3rd album. and she was doing an arena tour. And I went, and I remember being like amazed. Like at this point, she had a backing band for like, because the third album was a little bit more commercial.
Yeah.
But I just remember just being hypnotized by her voice the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe, like it was like a siren song almost, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, and like, she came out on stage, and she stood at the end of the stage while the band was playing. And like, I know she didn't look at me.
Yeah.
But I felt like she was looking right through my soul. Like, she's a very, very intense person.
Yeah.
Like, she looks like somebody, like, I'm sure she jokes and laughs, but she doesn't look like somebody who jokes and laughs.
Yeah.
Like, her music is always very serious. And I think it's like this weird thing. It was like me at a Tori Amos concert, but it was amazing. Like, her performance was like, I wish I could have just seen her like in a club, just her and a piano.
Yeah.
Because that would have been outstanding.
Really?
But yeah, it was like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's funny how our shows are so different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, Disturbed and Metallica are kind of the same.
Right.
But different, though. I mean, Disturbed is different than Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that Pumpkins show was so good.
I can't imagine. The Pumpkins are probably the third band, like, out of the 90s. Like, I don't consider Nine Inch Nails a 90s band. Because Pretty Hate Machine came out in 89. I guess they are a 90s band. Yeah. But, like, I discovered them before they were a 90s band. But the Pumpkins are like that third band to me out of the 90s. Like, because I'm not a fan of grunge. And I'm not a fan of, like, most 90s music.
Right.
But, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilot, and the Pumpkins were, like, for me, like, the holy trinity of, like, these are great bands that came out of this decade.
Right.
That you can't touch.
Yeah.
I'll give you Pearl Jam. I'll give you a lot of the other bands that you're going to talk about. I'll give you Rage and all that. They weren't my thing. But these three bands, to me, are like the holy trinity of the 90s. That, like, the best that decade had to offer.
I would agree with you, except for Chains.
Yeah, I know. You're going to throw Chains in there because that's... And I respect Chains.
Especially Facelift.
Yeah. I mean, I like Chains, but not as much as these three.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
And just... God, STP was so fucking good.
Yeah.
But, I mean... Oh, my God.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen the Pumpkins in their prime.
That's the greatest thing about this show. I mean, aside from Darcy not being there.
Yeah.
Because that had Chamberlain and Eha in this show.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, especially with Chamberlain, because Chamberlain just drives them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but I have to say, Disturbed was the same way. Like, Disturbed, I mean, like, he would come out and say, hey, I want to thank the veterans. You guys are the fucking best.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really pro-veteran.
Yeah.
And with Disturbed, and it was just music after me. I mean, it was just... And this is when they made, the Simon and Garfunkel song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that was haunting to listen to him sing live, too.
Yeah.
But it was, but he had some stuff to say.
Yeah.
As he usually does. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't like overkill.
Right.
It was just mostly just music. I mean, just constantly. And getting back to the Pumpkins, it was just like 2.5 hours of just Pumpkins.
Yeah.
There was no like, it was just music. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like everything.
Yeah.
You can imagine. I mean, it was fucking magical. I mean, it was just, and the you know the backdrop and everything. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Artistically, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, it was off the hook.
Yeah.
But I mean, oh my God, another good show I did see too that I left out of the mix was 9 Inch Nails Bauhaus.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
The screen.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely amazing. You probably would have enjoyed it more than me. You're more of the 9 Inch Nails fan than me.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, that Rush show was good.
That was an amazing show. Like I was like,
and it's cool that we got to see them.
yeah, like I had seen them before. I saw them in '91.
Oh, you did? Okay.
At the arena, and I sat all the way up at the top of the arena. Like I literally hit my head off of the dome. That's how high up I was. So I couldn't see shit.
Well, this show you did.
Yeah, I mean, this show, I think Geddy Lee and I made eye contact.
I mean, these seats, for people out there, these seats were fucking unfucking believable.
Yeah.
For Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had to have been no more than 20 yards from the stage and at stage level.
Oh, yeah.
Not below. We were
no.
Yeah, we were at stage level, so we were looking like... so it felt even closer.
Center.
Yeah. And it felt even closer because of us being raised up.
It was unreal.
Yeah. And it was a private box, which made it even better.
I had the same seats for fucking
Van Halen. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have killed for those seats for that show.
But those fucking... Rush was definitely one of the coolest things I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Yeah, because I mean that was just them. There was no opening act. They played
Rush.
They played for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but greatest hits.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but I mean, it was a good show.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah, so
I saw Crew there too, and that was the Crew show that fucking Tommy Lee shared his whiskey with the front row.
Yeah.
And everybody was worried about hepatitis C. But it was a good show.
When I saw Crew, I saw them on the Generation Swine tour.
Oh shit!
This was the show they got busted for showing porn at. Because it was at the Civic Arena, and they had like hanging from the middle of the arena a DJ.
Yeah.
So the opening act was Cheap Trick.
Nice.
Yeah, great. They were great.
Yeah.
But so in between, they got this DJ up there, and they've got like a curtain in front of the stage, and he's projecting shit on there, and he just throws up for no ungodly reason some porn. I was just like, okay.
Okay, so here's it. It's so weird how things are aligning tonight. Because I just talked to Randy's wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of the first shows that she told me this story right outside, but right when you came.
Yeah.
We were talking about concerts, and she took her 10-year-old
Yeah.
to a Molly Crew show.
Wow.
I think she was 10. I think.
Yeah.
So, took her to a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Took her to a 10-year-old. Took her 10-year-old to this show. To a Crew show.
Yeah.
And she was saying, like, what a nightmare experience was, because some dude just fell down the stairs drunk and passed out in her lap.
Yeah.
No, like one of those type of deals.
Yeah.
She was waiting for security.
Yeah.
She had this 10-year-old that was standing up on the seat. And she was holding her hand.
Yeah.
And they flash porn.
Wow.
On the screen.
Yeah.
And this was in Denver, I think.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Maybe, yeah. So it was like one of those deals where, like, I was just like, okay,
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think I've seen this one.
Yeah,
right. But, so, like apparently there was all sorts of, because there were, people were complaining 'cause they had minor children with them and stuff. I'm like, who the fuck brings a minor child to a Motley Crue concert?
Who brings a kid to a Crue concert?
Yeah. Like, my seats were just off the boards.
Yeah.
Okay, like, you know, if you think of the arena, like I said, we were just off the boards. And, like, I'm looking down on the floor, like, I'm watching, like, drunken women flashing their titties and stuff.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, it was a great show for that guy. I mean, but who, like, so knowing that this is going to take place, who brings a kid?
Yeah. No child should go to a cruise show, period.
No.
None. Yeah.
Not even at the height of their power should they have allowed, like, 16-year-olds in to go see Motley Crue. Like,
You're coming out pregnant.
yeah, exactly.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, this is going long, but I want to ask you one quick question before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Thor trailer.
Okay. I was impressed.
With
I
Portman.
saw her. Yeah. I was like, well, she's got some beef on the arms.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She is. She bulked up.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
I just don't want her to look like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I mean?
Because she normally, like, she's a frail. Like, I hate saying frail, but she's a petite woman normally.
Yeah.
And she went and bulked up.
She did. And that tells me that she cares about the role.
Right.
So I hopefully, and she's a good actress. So I mean, like,
but I think also more important, that costume looked good.
oh, it did.
I mean, it helps that she's bulked up and she's fitting into it rather nicely. But I mean, that costume looked good.
Yeah, it did.
And like, it's funny because I didn't know that trailer was coming out.
Yeah.
And we discussed that Saturday, like, you know, hopefully she looks good. And I like Monday, I sent you the picture. I'm like, well, what'd you think? And you're like, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it does. It looks good.
So, all right. Well, remember, is there anything you'd like to add, sir, before we?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, remember, there are a number of ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email, like Thad does every week, and we don't read it because it has nothing to do with the show. And that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. Actually, no, not on Facebook. We're still not on Facebook. I don't know if we're on Facebook now. I got to figure this shit out.
Okay.
They send me this stuff. Hey, your gray account, we're going to be disabling on this date. That date comes and goes, and my gray account is still active. What the fuck? But we're on Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. Very easy to find. We are a member of a number of podcasting networks.
Hey.
You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search, and you'll find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for enjoying our hijinks and or shenanigans, and hopefully you're enjoying them and not hate listening.
Nice.
Yeah. And so on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.